Hideki Kamiya created a character centered around three key points: a long, stylish coat, a British man, and someone who doesn't smoke. Along with the white hair and the blue eyes, these ideas would eventually form the main protagonist that we all know and love, Dante. Minus the British part. A simple way to put this video as is pretty much Dante is a badass. But I feel like I could go a little bit more in depth. I mean, this is character interpretation after all. And my point is to kind of dwell deep into my heart and kind of give my opinion on the character themselves. So, here I go. Dante is God practically. That's the basic thing I can say. Dante is like God mode. He's basically like he's the main character obviously of Devil May Cry, and I mean he's a pretty cocky ass person pretty much. I mean, imagine like the type of person in the street that was like in movies, actually rather take the character in a movie, say something like Grease or something, and you got the ones that think they're like slightly above the law and talking crap about people basically and just thinking they're oh so good to everybody else. That's the type of person Dante is. The difference between those people and Dante is Dante can back up those claims. He's a half human, half demon. He has all sorts of powers, demonic powers, and he's mostly like fearless in the eye of most things. Like he'll crack jokes at the most powerful of opponents and pretty much brush off any attacks like it isn't anything. It's his type of character. He's endearing because of how rebel and look how cool I am because I actually am cool thing he is. That's kind of the main point of Dante. And it's interesting though, because when I first heard about Devil May Cry, I mean, yes, I see the gameplay and I'm like, definitely, the game's definitely good. And I'm there. But I can always look at like the characters, like are the characters enjoyable sometimes. Even if the gameplay is whatever, I always want to focus sometimes on the characters and see how the characters are and how they are sometimes. Sometimes I don't pay attention as much because I'm not super duper expert at that. Like again, I'm just only giving my opinion on the character. But Dante is pretty much a pretty rebellious person, pretty much to a point. Not I won't quote unquote say DMC Ninja Theory Dante rebel, but a rebel in his own right. He comes up. It's just a lot of different things that Dante does like just chide demons in childish manners, displaying an almost uninterested attitude towards most opponents. Just always thinking he's hot shit, but can actually back up those claims opposed to other people. Dante's a fun individual that doesn't really take things too seriously, except Devil May Cry 2, which is where he seems to just take everything seriously, which doesn't really make sense. I don't know what happened with his character in Devil May Cry 2. He's really sullen and just quiet in that game. He doesn't really do too much in Devil May Cry 2 in terms of cracking jokes or anything. He just has this really weird habit of just flipping coins to decide things for people. And I guess that's supposed to be kind of funny or witty, or maybe they didn't have the original team when they did the second Devil May Cry, which is something I think even Kamiya still feels bad about to this day. But Devil May Cry in gameplay as a whole was good. It's just Dante's character wasn't there. He was just sullen. So when they made Devil May Cry 3, they brought his character back 10 times more better than he was. That's Dante. Devil May Cry 3 is Dante at its best, pretty much. He's just overall rebellious, kicking ass, eating pizza. He was shirtless most of the game. You know, he just has his overall attitude that he just doesn't take too much seriously. He's just ready to start opening things, like Devil May Cry rather. So he's just kind of just starting in the world basically. It's when everything begins for him. So of course he's going to be a little bit more whatever. But the thing about it is, as much as it's weird to sit there and say that Dante doesn't grow over the course of Devil May Cry 3, he definitely does. He grows from this kind of young, arrogant kid to pretty much becoming a young, arrogant adult. So So I mean, he does grow through things, and he does take things seriously when they need to be seriously, but not like dead serious like two. But he definitely takes things seriously as he can, and yeah, I think that's the cool part about Dante's personality, that he appeals to people because he's brash and cocky, but he can back up those claims, and he has cool demonic powers and whatnot. I feel like that's what really endears Dante the most. He can appeal towards people. His character is funny, witty, strong, all the things that we typically portray as a hero at times, especially the "I'll save you" type heroes who think they're cocky and they think they're like hot shit, and they're not. He's one of those people that can actually back up those claims. He's the only person that can actually back up those claims and do what he actually can say he can do. The whole point of Dante's characters was so that he can appeal to people in some way. He had, like I said, he had three key points that were essential for his creation: a long coat, a British man, and somebody who doesn't smoke. Now, out of those three key things, only those two things made it. Because the British part, I don't think really matters that much. Because he, Kamiya personified a character, a British character that's being strong and to the point type people, which is kind of Dante's manner in a sense, and witty. But it's the simple fact of Dante came from the concept of a Resident Evil 4 character, not actually Resident Evil 4 character. Just he was. I would almost go so far as to say maybe Leon was kind of based off of Dante, or Dante was based off of Leon in the initial thing, but they decided to change that. Maybe. But that's one whole nother story. Dante was made this way to appeal to his people, and so far the responses worked. Dante has been in numerous games, and has even gotten a reboot, which, for better or worse, could have been a good thing or a bad thing. But we'll talk about that Dante in another time, and when the time comes, I'll give you my opinion on that one too. This is Nicholas Murray from Character Interpretation. Thanks for watching.